Hey guys, so it has been quite the ride with the Bitcoin price recently. We have seen the price go up quite significantly, for sure. But what is one thing that has been outperforming Bitcoin? What kind of asset has been doing this? It's none but MicroStrategy or MSTR, the MicroStrategy stock. I think there's many reasons that you can debate about why this specific stock has been outperforming Bitcoin and what are the things that are driving this outperformance. But basically, I'm just going to boil it down to three main reasons. And I'm going to talk about those in this video. But I'm also going to talk about why I would still prefer to hold Bitcoin over MSTR on the long run, or even medium to long run. And the three main reasons, just to give them a title: one, low market cap; two, easy access to the stock; and three, yield generating stock. So these are the main three reasons why I think MicroStrategy is essentially outperforming Bitcoin right now. Okay, so let's start with the first reason. MicroStrategy as a stock existed way before Bitcoin even existed. So it really emerged out of the dot-com bubble, and it reached its all-time high back then in the 2000s or the late 1999, something like that. And then it just dumped, just like all these dot-com web tech stocks back in the bubble, the dot-com bubble. This is why they call it dot-com bubble. A lot of startups like this, tech companies that emerged out of this era, they did well for a few years, for a couple of years, but then we just ended up with like a few companies that are basically now the biggest companies in tech, and we have still some of these companies that completely dumped in market value back when the bubble erupted. So MicroStrategy was one of these stocks. So it is safe to say that it is effectively a very old stock. So it's not new, and it's definitely not newer than Bitcoin. But back in 2020, MicroStrategy with Saylor, back when he was their CEO, now he's like a chairman, he decided to put Bitcoin on MicroStrategy's balance sheet. And with time, it turned out to be like a very good strategy. They call it the Bitcoin strategy, so to speak. And basically, their entire selling point was to offer their shareholders an easy way to access Bitcoin, or to access exposure, to have this price exposure to Bitcoin through holding their stock. So basically, if you own a MicroStrategy stock, you basically are exposing yourself to Bitcoin price appreciation or depreciation, the entire volatile ride. But right now, we're seeing that MicroStrategy is effectively outperforming Bitcoin for at least the last year. We've seen it do immensely well. A lot of us feel like we wished we could have like owned some of that stock. And a lot of people, even outside of Bitcoin, got very interested in the stock, even if you're not very into Bitcoin, or even if you don't own Bitcoin. A lot of people in the Tradfi sphere, they saw the stock, they saw what they were doing, and they saw like it is performing very well. It has outperformed every single stock essentially, and so a lot of people got interested in it. Now, one of the main reasons I feel like this stock is doing very well right now, it's probably a simple reason, and it's not the best or the most compelling reason why it's doing so well, but essentially it's because it has a low market cap. So MicroStrategy is not the biggest company out there. It's not one of the biggest companies. Right now it has like 50 billion market cap, something like that. But that's after like a huge rally that brought it up by like 4 or 5 times its market value. So it was not really one of the biggest stocks out there. It was a very small stock. And once like investors saw that MicroStrategy is doing something different, and they saw like this strategy that they're following with Bitcoin could be considered something good, something they can get on board with, they started buying it. And when you have like new money getting into the stock, and if the stock is relatively small, you can easily drive it up in price. So it's a risky stock, but since everyone is buying it and everyone is bullish towards it, when you have a risky stock and a good environment for it, you will get a month's appreciation. So this is what is happening in terms of like market cap with MicroStrategy. Now, reason number two, I think the reason MicroStrategy is very attractive to especially like TradFi people is because if you have like money in the system, in the TradFi system, if you have money in your IRA account, if you have money in like a brokerage account, stock brokerage account, basically, you can very easily move that money from a certain investment in your IRA or in your stock brokerage account into MSTR without going through any friction, without going through or without incurring any specific taxes. So you don't have to pay capital gains tax to sell whatever stocks that you have in order to buy Bitcoin. You can just move that money from, I don't know, maybe Apple stock and put that money into your MicroStrategy stock. Or you can move that money that already exists in your IRA account, which is the retirement account, and just invest it in a MicroStrategy. So if your money is stuck in TradFi and traditional finance, this makes MicroStrategy an attractive investment for you if you want to expose yourself to Bitcoin appreciation, to Bitcoin price, or to the Bitcoin market as a whole. Another way you can do this is through Bitcoin mining, like mining companies, but it turns out that whatever MicroStrategy is doing, which is having enough cash flow to buy Bitcoin, is a much better or a much more effective strategy to stack more Bitcoin. So it is one of the biggest companies that own Bitcoin, public companies, and so people are attracted to that. They want to hold the stock that has the most Bitcoin. So the company that has most Bitcoin is the most attractive to these people. So, and this is probably one of the most important reasons as to why MicroStrategy is so attractive, and it's probably one of the reasons why it is outperforming Bitcoin right now. Lastly, and this is the last thing I want to talk about in this video, which is I'm going to talk about why I wouldn't choose to hold MSTR over just holding Bitcoin in cold storage. The reason is that, first of all, there's so much friction for someone like me. This is like a personal thing to get into like the stock market and where I am and everything like that. I'm not willing to go over through this whole hassle. But to take it even a step further, when you hold a stock, you're just holding a stock. You're trusting someone else with your money. So even though you hold a stock, first of all, you have to hold it with like a brokerage account or on an IRA account or whatever other third party that allows you, or even ETF that allows you to hold stocks. So basically, you're not self-sovereign with your funds. But even more, it's still a stock. It's still a company. You're still counting on these guys at MicroStrategy to be trustworthy, right? To not overprint their stock, to not do things that you do not agree with, to stay profitable, to not go over leverage. I know that public companies are fully audited and you can just go and check what the company is doing on a quarterly basis. But still, I mean, I wouldn't really trust this. And the whole reason we have Bitcoin is because you can actually take your own finances in your hands and be able to self-custody, be able to use it whenever you want to use it, send it to people easily, use it whether you are in the United States or in China or in Lebanon, you can use it wherever. And yeah, I mean, this is basically the selling point for me in Bitcoin. It's nice to have all these sophisticated stuff with like the MSTR stock, but at the end of the day, it's not really exactly why I'm into Bitcoin. I'm into Bitcoin, yes, for number go up, but also for the revolutionary side of things. So this is it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you're enjoying the bull market. By the time I upload this video, I don't know how much we will be. Hopefully, we will still be in a bull market. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to my newsletter. Also, don't forget to check Bitcoin Mina tickets. You can use my code THOMAS, Thomas, to get a 10% discount if you want to join the Bitcoin Mina conference in Abu Dhabi. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.